Here with Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell, and I know you guys got to get out of here pretty soon. Your players want to hit a Waffle House.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, of all things, they went to Elmo's last night, and now they want a Waffle House today.
Well, that sounds like a perfect 24 hours to me. But, okay, you've recruited in the South quite a bit. So do you have a Waffle House hash brown order?
No, I really don't. I don't know that I've been to a Waffle House in quite a while.
You're in too good a shape. That's the problem. The answer, by the way, correct answer, covered, cheese, scattered, they scatter them around, chunked, that would be ham, capped mushrooms. If you're feeling particularly aggressive, topped is chili. So there you go.
I probably will just stick with the normals if I go.
Well, the next time you have to recruit some kid in Georgia, just know it's there for you. But so everybody here has been asking you, how could you change the offense? How could you do that? When you took this job, what was your vision for what Wisconsin football would look like?
It wasn't really about like how are we going to change.
Yeah.
It was about who are we going to get to be the right people, and the right people will figure out what it needs to be. And
right.
So I've always talking about those labels and labels and labels, but the reality is that Phil and I have had a relationship regardless of what he is as an air raid guy or he's a football coach that's highly intelligent that will find ways to be successful in what it is that we want to do. But it will be different.
Yeah.
And I think that's the uniqueness of when you do change. You know, there's a lot of other things that go along with it.
I was in Chapel Hill when Phil got hired by Mac Brown, and Mac said, well, I called Matt Luke at Ole Miss, and I said, does he actually run the ball? Oh, yeah, he does? Okay. Because that was the only way Mac was going to go for any of that air raid stuff. But that's what I keep thinking is, with what Wisconsin has, the natural resources in terms of the offensive linemen and the backs, I go back to that season Phil had with Javonte Williams and Michael Carter at North Carolina. They could throw it and run it. So
I think they had 2,000-yard rushers.
Yeah.
I think that's where that balance is critical in all that we do.
So what was it about this one? Because I know you've been very picky in terms of jobs. What was it that made you say this is the one?
Timing has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean, my timing being that it was, if there was ever going to do this, it was something about, the age of my kids and the opportunities that if we're going to do it, it's got to be right for everybody. I think also the timing of college football, right? I mean, where exactly are we going in the next 3 years?
Right.
I don't know what it's exactly going to be, but the Big 10 is going to be at the forefront of whatever that is. And so those things added along with me recognizing and all of a sudden noticing and learning a little bit more about all the things that Wisconsin has to offer for me, professional side, but also to my family on their side as well. Very unique.
I was looking at what you guys do in terms of infrastructure, NIL. I imagine Chris McIntosh, your AD, had a very attractive presentation here. But watching the way you guys have gone about this, it feels like you guys are looking ahead to an age where there's no Big 10 West, where this is going to be completely different. Does it help that you're coming in kind of fresh with all these changes?
I do. I think that it all kind of goes hand in hand with, changing. I'm not saying a philosophy, but obviously going away from some things that Chris had the the courage to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin's own, and in an era where a lot of things are evolving and growing, and to get into some uncomfortable waters, meaning through this whole NIL world that we all understand. Look, we don't have to do it the way that everybody else does it, but we got to do it in a way that's going to benefit our kids and give us an opportunity to continue to grow our program. And as long as we can do that, we're going to be in good shape.
You went out and got Tanner Mordecai, who has played a lot of football the last 2 years, thrown a lot of touchdown passes. What was it about him that attracted you to him?
Well, we prepared for him. We didn't just play him.
You played him twice in a row.
The last 2 years, but it was more of the preparation. Because in one game, it's a small sample size.
Yeah.
We actually were very good against him, because we sacked him 8 or 9 times.
Right.
But in the preparation and just the respect that I had for all that he had done, and even from afar watching how he grew and took leadership and took those teams and things like this to a level that I don't know that I had expected out of that program. And obviously there's a big reason why.
So I remember when you took over Cincinnati, and you got to the point where you're having 9 guys drafted, but you inherited a team that had not won a lot of games. You got that team playing well pretty quickly with the guys you inherited. How do you do that with the new guys who don't know you don't know them, you didn't recruit them?
I think it has a lot to do with building the trust, and that doesn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean? So in order to get guys to play above their abilities, you have to be able to guide them and lead them and push them.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, is where, okay, that's what's most difficult in those first couple of years is, do they have enough trust in you? Do they have enough belief in not just you, but all the things that you do, what the whole program does, to put some of those personal things aside, do not allow the noises and the human elements to have an effect on so much of what it is that we do. And those things go a lot further than just our abilities do.
All right. Well, Coach, appreciate it. I know you got to get out of here, but good luck at finding that Waffle House. And if anybody follows my order, good luck on the plane.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it.